All right, welcome to another episode from the chart readers. I've missed saying that for the last week as well. I will for sure be honest about that. But man, we are going to talk about arguably the hottest stocks in the sector right now, right? So NVOS, and when I say sector, I meant the market, sorry. But NVOS, TTOO, and if I've got time, I'll try to sneak in mullen on this one, all right? But oof, there is so much to like. And you know, though I haven't been here for the last week, I think I gave the most important thing on my last video, and that really was 13 cents would be hard to lose. All right, I tried to stress that, and man, that's basically what happened here, right? So I'll kind of talk about the last week that I wasn't here. Obviously, we will talk about today and what I'm expecting for tomorrow. But truth be told, yeah, I'm expecting good things for NVOS even after seeing this 34 here, okay? TTOO is close, but not yet, all right? I think tomorrow should be pretty telling of what's going to happen there, but yeah, TTOO needs to make a really important move. Otherwise, again, it's just we can't assume it's gonna do things until it does things, all right? And then mullen, if I covered on this one, I actually thought mullen had a shot to go to 60 cents today. I'm a little disappointed that it didn't. I'll kind of tell you what I saw, but yeah, mullen still needs to do a couple things before I even think it's worth, you know, hard-earned money, right? But all that said, before I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, as well as these diagonal trend lines. I don't do them too often, but you can see one right here, right? So, and then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me out so much with these YouTube algorithms. I've also not been here for a week, so I'm sure the algorithms are extra mad at me right now, right? And hey, if you haven't already, check out the Discord group. Oh man, there's a lot of people talking. Look at all these. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is a beautiful. I love it. But let's get into this. All right, we're here to talk about NVOS, and man, what a beautiful day after the doji, after another doji, right? So we'll talk about these 3 immediate days, but look, I haven't been here for the last week, right? So none of these days you saw videos from mine, but the last video I posted, I believe, was over the weekend, last weekend, okay? And the main thing I said was 13 cents was going to be really hard to lose. All right. And that is essentially what happened. All right. And why did I think that? Look, I say it all the time. These 5 lines are really hard to break. They're also really hard to lose when they're on your good side. And as you start getting multiple lines tighter and tighter and tighter, oh man, it just makes that wall thicker and thicker and thicker, and you just can't get through it. All right. Same rules up are the same rules down. And, you know, this had a pretty bad fall, right? No one wants to watch something go from, let's call it 21. Yeah, exactly. 21 cents all the way down to 30. No one wants to see that, right? That said, it was something I was expecting, but I just believed that little stack right there. How are you going to lose that? That's so thick, right? And what it was able to do was what I basically call, you know, technical analysis textbook moves, right? Like, this is technical analysis 101, the bounce up, right? Like, I sincerely do not believe the news about no, this to me was just a beautiful technical move that was backed by volume and had some good lower indicators to make us believe that the run can run. All right. So I hope that made sense. Throw some comments if you disagree or that didn't, right? But like, I'm telling you, I believed 13 cents was going to be hard, and this is what a technical bounce looks like. And look, today was an interesting day, right? Because where was it? It was at the border of the gap fill, and you can see people were getting ready to want this to, right? Like, this thing went up, but nonetheless, this is a beautiful regular hour candle. What's post-market doing? Oh, nothing. It's down a little bit, but that's very insignificant, all right? But This is a beautiful, beautiful candle that really makes me believe that there's going to be more coming. All right, that's a great divergence. Again, divergence is just a fancy word for the two lines are going away from each other. RSI is actually not bad. It could be better. Obviously, I wish this was just a lower number, but 71 has room to go up. All right, this thing, what were you at yesterday? Or sorry, Friday. Friday RSI was 69. We dropped a 34 hammer and it only went up a little bit. So like, you know, there's plenty of room that this thing can do between here and that like 80 number where I start getting worried, right? But yeah, could be a lower, I wish it was a lower number, right? Like that's where we bring the 18 wheeler. But yeah, this is still giving me reason to believe in. What I actually really, really like is the volume down here. Friday, which was a very big day, you can see it was 223, 220 million. Today was basically 260 million. Like volume, you can even see it went up, right? Like that's an easy way to drop. That's an easy way to, you know, start to go, no. We're doing that, right? And this day was actually more volume. This was 267 million. This, like I said, was 257, right? So this wasn't even the second biggest day, let alone the biggest day, which was at the 400. Like, man, there is so much reason to believe that we're going to start to fill the gap. However, all right, this is my however, I am not yet targeting up here. I'm not actually even targeting up here yet. All right, I think 70s and $1. I think that's getting a little greedy. Now, I'm obviously talking about day to day, right? If you're a little more patient, we'll get to it. Maybe there's a little bit more room on the weekly, but day to day, again, I'm looking at a 71 RSI. That's not that far from 80. This right here should be. So this is kind of the only 80. What was you? This looks like a high peak. 77. 77. Yeah, so this thing actually doesn't run super high in the 80s, 90s, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. But I don't expect it to get this high just yet, all right? What I'm basically looking at is 50% of this candle, all right? Roughly speaking, it's like right there. Is that too high? Is that not bad? I think that's not bad. I think it's a little too high. I think that's not bad. Again, we're not here for perfect, whatever. I think 55 is a realistic target. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, but I think going from this 30 number to 50-ish number, that might be a little too much and tap out the RSI. But yeah, right now, I think we're going to try to take this first little chunk of gap. I do, you know what I mean? Again, I don't believe we're going to fill the whole thing yet. However, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Break all 5 moving averages and fly. All right. For the longest time, we lost all 5 and we're dying. We are now getting ready to start flying. All right. So believe me when I say there's so much to be excited for. All right. I'm just keeping, the main thing is this RSI. I think this is the only thing that's kind of keeping, but again, beautiful, not that bad at all, beautiful, right? So gotta love the daily setup on NVOS. And look, this is a fantastic weekly. Did last week actually break it? It did. So look, NVOS on Friday closes at 0.22, that green number on the box to the left. You can see the 50, that red line was 0.21. So we actually break it on Friday, and we're doing a beautiful job of confirming that. And man, the way it works is break this, then go to this, break this, then go to this, break this, then go to this. So like this is saying, hey, we might be wanting to go to the dollar. All right. However, again, we're now looking at the weekly chart. So, hey, it might take a couple weeks. It might take 1 week, 2 weeks, right? Like, I think we're going to need maybe another candle or two on this side. That's kind of my guess. I think in about 2 weeks, maybe we'll get to this dollar, right? But yeah, again, look, we're about to get to the 0. This is still a nice divergence. I wish this was a little lower, but I can already see this. Oh, 83, that's not too bad. And then what are you here? 65. No, I don't like that. But 83, I could still believe that this is going to go to the 80s. And again, I think that might give us another push next week. Yeah, I think this 55 target, I think that's actually kind of the best immediate target for now. I can see us hitting 55 on NVOS, cooling off a little bit, and then, hey, hopefully the ride keeps going, right? But yeah, there is a lot to like on NVOS for the daily and the weekly. That's for sure. Again, I'm here not talking about any news. I'm here not talking about any hope. I actually often get NVOS and TTOO confused, if you really want to know the truth. But all I'm doing is looking at these and letting the colorful lines let me do their thing, right? So yeah, again, let me know if you disagree or any other thoughts you might have. Otherwise, let's check out TTOO. Okay, where is TTOO? Listen, today I know it doesn't look like a really pretty day, all right? Like, it's obviously a red candle. No one wants to lose a little bit. What I'm actually seeing is it's trying to regain that 8 moving average, all right? Look, I say it on almost every single video. Good things happen over the 8. Bad things happen under, all right? You gotta at least get over the 8. Obviously, I always say 8 and the 20, right? Like, this is like they're brother and sister, man. They're best friends, right? So it's not gonna be easy getting over it. Just believe me there. But we're at least trying to hold that 8. We have to close over this tomorrow. It's really important that it does. Otherwise, it actually might drop down to this like 30-ish range. I don't think 30 is actually that hard to believe. Tomorrow's an important day. Tomorrow, it either gets back over the 8 and the 20, or like I said, it comes back here. That's really the main things I see. This is not a great MACD, right? We like it when the green is good, red is bad, right? So this was the turning point and it still hasn't turned back up yet. That's actually bad divergence. The lines are going away from each other, but the wrong way. We want green going up, right? So that's bad, and hey, volume's been horrible. It really, look, just in the millions that it is today, like 54 million, right? Like that was the daily volume. Like that's a lot. You know how many stocks would like kill for that kind? That said, you got to be at least here to be even relatively good, right? That 50 average line. And more than anything, man, there are a lot of people unloading this stock. There are way more sell volumes in total than buy volumes, right? So this, like I said, the most important thing I think is closing at 41 cents tomorrow. How close? 42. Let's even call it 42. If TTOO can get over 42 cents, that's where maybe I will start to see, because from there, green, red, red, green, red, 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 green. Like I could see this going from 42 maybe up to like 50 something, if not this 60 number we got here. And even that 40 to 50 is a quick 20%, right? So that 20 I think is the money line right here. It's actually saying it's exactly at 40. Again, I think 41, 42, why not? Just a little extra confirmation that it's actually over those lines, right? But the one thing to call out is these lower indicators aren't that good, and it's making me not 1,000% that it's gonna go that way tomorrow. And like I said, the wrong way will bring this down to 30. And the problem is we're sitting at 30, like that's actually almost a 20% drop, right? We're basically talking about 6 cents instead of 5 cents. So it's gonna be either a hard drop down or a small candle to, actually that's not bad, that's still a good ways. It's basically, I think that's what I'm seeing. It's either gonna make a double-digit move up or down tomorrow, either breaking the 20 and hopefully going, or losing this 8 and probably working its way down, right? And obviously between these two, it's either gonna wanna come to the 200 or basically come back down here to these 23s, you know what I mean? So I like NVOS a lot more because obviously on the daily, the other one had more good versus this bad, right? So weekly's not looking fantastic. Again, volume is a little bit on the sad side, right? It's only been 1 day, so obviously maybe a couple days can do something, but this is a short week, so it's actually already on an extra downside with that, right? So still over the 8 and the 20 here. That's at least worth noting, right? Like we are still working our way up, so not a bad thing necessarily, but yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be the important. Hey, maybe we doji, right? If we get a doji tomorrow, doji doesn't count. Let me at least say that. But I actually really think we're either going to break the 20 or lose the 8. What are we doing post market? We're holding. Yeah, let's see what it does tomorrow. I think that'll be interesting. I still got time. Let's look up MULN real quick. Okay, MULN. Yeah, let me see. Okay. Sorry, I had to get my thoughts together. First and foremost, look, you know my rules. Good things happen over the 8 and the 20. Bad things happen under the 8 and the 20, all right? And even before this split, we have been doing nothing but going under the 8 and the 20, all right? That said, this stock actually does one thing pretty often. It goes below the 8, then to the 8. It goes below the 8, then to the 8. It goes below the 8, and then it goes to the 8. And you know, I mean, it's not something I necessarily like to trade. However, there are times when you can make it really worth your while. And today kind of looked like might have been one of those days. I think it was this. This is what I was watching. So it was making a really nice trek up. I thought it had a shot of breaking the 100 and making its way up to the 2. Again, that's how I break this, go to this, break this, go to this, right? Like break these, go to this, break this, go to this, break this, go up. It just couldn't, and it made its way down. You know what I mean? So it's sad because NASDAQ's actually not doing that bad. It's actually in the 14K range, right? So you would think things would happen here, but nah, it just couldn't do it, right? So again, I keep saying, honestly, I wouldn't put good money into this until it got over that 20 average line, which is at 75 cents right now. The problem now is becoming that the distance between here and here used to make it worth, let's wait for the 20. Let's wait. Now it's starting to not be worth it. And man, it feels weird saying I wouldn't touch this thing until 111. All right, because 111 obviously gets us over that red line right there, and it was my last support line, right? So, man, it's at the minimum get over the 8 moving average. 60 cents is, I really, really, really wouldn't touch this under 60 because, again, bad things happen under the lines, right? And these are computer generated. It's not like I have any influence on them, right? So it's my way of staying unbiased. I'm loving the word hopium. I'm seeing that a lot on Twitter, and hopium like, I'm not here to get high on hopium, man. You know what I mean? Like that's not what it is. So let me know your thoughts and opinions as always. Otherwise, hey, I'm glad to be back doing this. Thank you.